Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoco.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen and Full Grammar Alchemist. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to an unexpected podcast. I wasn't going to do this today, and then Force of Will was like, bet, we're going to make you work. It's your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast, Office Hours, featuring myself, Jigimo73, and I'm joined this week by the one and only Mr. Shudenpo Ayush Dalal himself. How's it going, buddy?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. If you like what we're doing, want to consider supporting the channel, you can click that join button down below. You can also just like and subscribe and share it out with everybody. We appreciate it. Keep the algorithm being fed for all things Force of Will. And yeah, so Paul's out of town. Mike's out of town. I was like, oh, we're not going to do a podcast today. We can take a break. No real news. And then the company was like, what if we just gave you 25 new cards? Oh, okay. Can't take a Monday off. So, yeah, we're here. We got some news about did the new article finally drop? Okay, hold on. Let me look at we'll talk about the article as this too. So, Antechamber of the 10 Dimensions has been dropped. We have the information about how it's going to be released. Players at Worlds will be given these cards. So players at Worlds will be given these cards in full art foil versions, and then they will replace the Memoria Collection pack in set 2, and some of them will also be like spruced in randomly in set 3. So we essentially will have 2 sets, it seems like, worth of Memoria Collection packs to be able to get these cards if you're not a Worlds player, which I think is really nice. What we have from the article. So the finally, if you're not attending A and WGP, both the main event and the side event will be their debut, as all 25 cards have been legal since the descent of Raven's Catacombs, which was August 28th. So the 10 Paradox cards will be Worlds legal. So we have that cool information. And we have breakdowns some here. We'll go through these breakdowns a little bit. Of these other cards as we go for the new Wanderer cards and kind of the new keywords that are attached with it. So, and MP03, is that what it said? I thought it said Mastery Collection. Reading here.
They'll appear reduced rarity in MP03 booster
Oh,
packs.
yeah, okay. So they will appear in MP. So that's Masterpiece. Okay, Masterpiece 3. So, E2 Memory Collection and Reduced Rarity in MP03. Got it. So essentially two sets worth of being able to get these cards if you're not going to Worlds, which I think is great. Yeah. I think that means they will be plentiful. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, all 25 of these cards will be legal for Worlds, with 15 of them being Wanderer legal for day 2, and the 10 Paradox cards being Paradox legal. So we almost know what the full format for Worlds is going to be. We just have one more week. And I say that because the company has said that based on these last 2 events, one being the one this past weekend and the one coming up this next weekend, that we might see a ban list update on the 23rd of this month. So still gives Worlds players a really good amount of time to test, in my personal opinion, but the starting line has kind of been formed a little bit here. We have some more of the tools, and it's time to get into it. So with that out of the way, let's talk about new cards, because it's pretty exciting. We're going to start with, are the Worlds players getting full playsets as entry pricing? I would imagine so, but we'll have to wait. In previous years, so I'm not going to speak to the company here, Joe. This is a great question. I'm speaking from my experience as a player at Worlds. When new cards were legal at Worlds, like cards that were like just recently released or just about to be released, and we used them at Worlds, we were handed a full playset of them to utilize. For instance, the only difference I think that's been was Alice Origins cluster. Everyone got for the day 2 side event like 4 boxes of product instead of like sealed stuff or whatever. But when I played in Rhea block and when I played in Lapis block, we didn't get, we only used the cards that we already had. It wasn't in the beginning of a new set. But Rhea block, we all got a full play set of Rhea at the time. So there is precedent to everyone getting a full play set already. We'll just have to see what that's like. So we'll have to see. I can't imagine that if it's not a full play set of participation, that like they will have plenty for people to purchase and limits on how much people can purchase. I don't know, though. I imagine that will not be a huge issue, though. So let's start with Varkuzal. We only got one of each special magic stone. Special magic stones versus playable main deck cards, I think is... Listen, I'm ever the optimist. I would err on the side of getting a full play set, but I can't speak for the company, so we'll just have to wait and see. Let's start with Varkuzal. This is the Archdemon Devourer of Gods, 8-drop, Demonic Flame Spirit God, 12/12, Mythic Blood Trail at Aegis. As you play this card, you can remove any number of cards in your graveyard from the game, pay 1 void less for it. It's untouchable as long as you control a Water Warlock J/Ruler, which I believe is exactly Nero and Valentio. At this point, they're the only Warlocks we have. It deals on enter. It deals 1,200 damage to a player or J Resonator. Flame Slash for double red and revealing it from your hand. The card deals 1,200 damage to the target Resonator. Play only 1 Flame Slash ability per turn. And Varkuzal's Aura for 1 blue, revealing it from your hand. Draw 2 cards, then discard 3 cards. Play 1 Varkuzal's Aura ability per turn. Both of those reveal effects are really nice.
Yeah.
Like really, really nice. And the fact that this guy is essentially a 3-drop 12/12 burn 12, that like while you're waiting to build up the power for it, it has like will sinking abilities. Like this guy's pretty nice for red blue. Like this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. Interesting things. He kills Kushiel, Shaman. It's like Therapist Vacus off the Flame Slash.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do the pitch effect, that should be 4 cards engraved right there. So the next Varkuzal you play is already at like a 4
drop
reduction.
Yeah. But they didn't ban Electra. But didn't they ban Electra? This is like nowhere near close to Electra.
Yeah, it's not even close
like
to Electra.
not even close to being Electra level of like the. Now I would say if the burn ability could hit face, sure, then then this would be great.
Yeah,
but it only can hit resonators. It can't even hit J rulers. Yeah. Like I think this card is totally fine. I think this card is great. Give red blue some love for sure. It's worse as a finisher, but better as a standalone card. I agree wholeheartedly. It's got utility. It serves kind of a similar, it's got reach for red blue. It kind of like weirdly replaces Metal Lifeform Dragon, kind of, for like the same kind of amount of will. You're doing kind of something similar. You're just kind of like side grading it. And some flexibility options too, which I think is nice. Next up we have Hindered Magic Duel. 2-cost, blue-white, quick cast, Divinity 1. Quick cast untouchable, choose up to 2. If it was awakened, which we legally can't do right now, choose up to 4 instead. Draw 3, then expel a card from your hand. Gain 3 life multiplied by the number of cards in your hand. Remove target spell targeting a player, a warden, or an entity from the game. So a like blue-white cancel. Destroy target attacking Resonator. Resonator sharing an attribute with the chosen target cannot attack until end of turn. So I do want to clarify something here. It's remove target spell targeting a player, a warden, or an entity, right? It's not saying remove target spell targeting a player, comma, a warden, comma, or an entity from the game. I would imagine it's removing the thing that's targeting something, right? Because otherwise this could just remove stones.
Yeah, and that's how I was reading it.
And that's not correct.
Yeah.
I imagine this is specifically a cancel mode of it to try to be able to like protect stuff. Removes the spell targeting. Yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah.
in reading it. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being dumb. And we don't have trance counters ability right now unless we want to use the Magna to add trance counters to something. It is a cancel
Assume
spell.
it's for like
Yeah.
one of the rulers that's coming up in the second
Yeah.
set. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, probably a future student will deal with trance
Yeah.
counters, I imagine, which is neat. I think this is cool. I think this card's cool. I like it a lot.
No.
2 cost draw 3, except you expel 1, so it's it's essentially net +1 cards because you're going -1 to play this, +3 up to +2, and then expelling a card. So you're technically going like +1. You're just seeing a lot of cards to do it, which is nice.
And just
but
gaining life afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't cancel wardens, it cancels stuff targeting wardens. We do not currently have a way to stop warden processes from resolving currently. Yeah. Next up we have Valgot Secret Surveillance, blue-black quick cast, Edition Rune Glyph, Divinity 5. We have a way to... Oh, we have cards that target wardens. Yes, we do. Search your deck for a demon card with total cost 2 or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand or into the field, or like just straight into the field. That seems pretty good. Then shuffle your deck. Tap or blue or black, remove any number of cards in your hand from the game face down. At the end of turn, you put all cards removed from the game by this card essentially from your removed area into your hand. 2 friends and a cat would like a word if you're going to try to abuse this card. Can you just imagine, like, play Look of Corruption. Opponent's like, tap, remove every card from my hand in the game. And you're like, now that they're all out of the game, play 2 friends. No.
That would be something.
That would hurt so bad.
Is this the first card that lets you like choose if it goes into hand or into field?
Yes, I think. Yeah, also you don't even need 2 friends. Yeah, Ice Shards does it too. Yes, for sure. I do.
Yeah.
And then it can tap to produce 1 wheel of any attribute to play chant spells, rune spells, judgment processes, or warden processes. I think this card's really good. This card's really good. Symphony really likes this card, I think. Valgot probably also really likes this card. Lots of people probably really like this card. Anything Diabolos also really likes this card, probably.
No.
Because it helps pay for Diabolos. Card's very, very good.
Yeah.
Pretty poppable though. It doesn't have any it has Vileborn 2.
Yeah, there's nothing like other protection outside of that.
Yeah. But it's a quick cast thing, so it probably it's neat. This card is very, very good. 100%.
Yep.
Next up we have the other really good card. This is Demon's Blood. Green red chant rune. Players cannot chase. Divinity 1. Choose up to 2. Deals 600 damage to all non-demon resonators you don't control. Remove 3 counters from a J/ruler or put 4 blood counters on a J ruler. Battle damage cannot be prevented, and resonators you control gain plus 600 attack until the end of your next turn. And then discard, or last mode is discard 2 cards, then draw 3 cards. If the spell is a copy, put the top 3 cards of your opponent's Magic Stone deck into the graveyard and produce double red, or double green. Hey, look, it's Father from Kids Next Door. That's funny. Keeping in mind that fourth mode essentially is if you played this from the rune deck because of how runes work. Rune chants flip up and then put a copy of themselves on the chase. So that 4th mode is essentially like when you cast this from rune deck, or if you try to copy it a different way. But that's where that 4th mode kind of gets that ability. So there's that.
I do agree with Jeremy Lindley here a bit, though. Like the unchaseable board clear seems kind of strong, and then, of course the fourth mode is interesting because you're able to mill 3 of their mag zones, and essentially you're playing for free because you're getting refunded back the mana.
Yeah, potentially. Yep.
Yeah.
On that first cast. Yeah.
On the first one, yeah, from the rune deck, yeah.
Yep, for sure. There's a lot of elements to me from this, from a couple of cards that we've seen that I think lend themselves to ice shards starting to find its way into more main decks, just in general, for more of its effects, like being able to punish RFG stuff, being able to make it so people can't play multiple spells from the rune deck per turn, that kind of stuff. Is a thought. We could also
Yeah.
see Muse. We could also see Muse staring at coming back in a pretty big way potentially, because of its interaction with outside the game or with rune chance in general. So that would be interesting.
It's just tough though with like cards that are unchaseable.
Unchaseable, yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Next up we have Forbidden Experimentation. This is a 4-cost black-green addition glyph. As an additional cost to play this card, you can remove 2 dose counters. You pay green or black less to play this card. We don't have a ruler that does dose counters right now. You can pay 1 less to play this card for each different name among Magic Stones you control, and pay X, destroy this card and each non-Magic Stone entity with total cost X or less. And then Insidious Manipulation. Rest, recover target Magic Stone. If you do, you gain 500 life. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Just more Fox cards.
Yeah. I mean, that's guessing by the art. It could be like a Kael'th card, I assume.
Yeah, also feels like
she's on the artwork.
Yeah, Kael'th.
And then I think for her, assuming it's for her, that you can play for 1 because you remove a counter, so that's 1. And then
if he has 2 special Magic
2,
Stones, if you have 2 special Magic Stones
names, yep.
Yeah, well, it's
Right?
Then
So
you can just play this for 1. Yeah, yep.
On turn 2, yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. He mentioned Fox drink. Yep, for sure. There it is. I'm gonna mention it again too. We'll get there. I like this card a lot. I think this card obviously gets better once we get the ruler that does dose counters, but I think it's fun to experiment with, for sure.
Yeah. Paired up with Wing Shia, you gain 1,200 life return.
Yeah.
Or 1,200 per like rest, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Next up, we have Nero Studied Root, blue-green, reunited Nero with quick cast. Choose 1, 4C2. Target player expels a regalia and draws 2 cards. So you can get rid of your opponent's regalia if you also give them 2 cards. Put target Resonator with attack higher or lower than its printed attack on the bottom of its owner's deck, or put target non-Magic Stone card from your graveyard into your hand, gain 1,000 life. If the spell is a copy, recover 2 Magic Stones. So again, if you're playing it from the rune deck, you get to essentially play this for free. And you can like recur a card, gain 1,000 life for free, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, also, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say also the first mode is actually kind of funny because if you choose your opponent, you force them to expel Regalia, but then they get to draw 2 cards. Or you could choose yourself, assuming there is no Regalia, you can just still force you to draw 2.
Yeah, it seems pretty good. Yeah, this card's pretty neat. I like this card. I mean, it's more utilitarian, but it's like I think it's a pretty easy include. For Nero, especially since Nero gives it quick cast, right?
Yeah, it's also interesting. A lot of these are Divinity 1.
There's a lot of Divinity 1 here.
Yeah,
I think part of it too is that like I can give some credence now that we've seen more of the first set. I'm understanding more Divinity 1 because it feels like they want to encourage you to play addition runes, but not feel like you have to play them first.
Yeah.
Right? Because like while still like sometimes the situation is going to come up or the matchup is going to come up that your Divinity Edition really isn't good early, but you might want it later, but you still want to use your runes, right? So I think it's an interesting balance. It's maybe a little bit more Divinity 1 that I would like. It does interestingly make... It also strangely does make Pactless an option. If you just have like
Yeah.
a Divinity 1, a series of Divinity 1s that you could like try to play Pactless, I think is interesting. We saw Pactless
Valentio.
Valentio this past weekend. And so like that's an interesting idea of like having a suite of like potentially 4 or 5 Divinity 1s that are like designed to kind of be like, I'm not sure what I'm going to need, but I can use one of these if I need it, which I think is an interesting approach to playing Pactless with the new students. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Swiss Army knife for sure. And yeah, Yo-Yo makes Pactless a lot more viable. Yep, you can just pick like five Divinity 1s that fit in with your color combination, and then just be like, I'm not sure which one of these that I'm going to need, but I might need it at some point, and I can use it, which I think is a cool way to experiment with them. Next up, we're going to go with the Stone, Raven's Order, Ominous Hall. I don't think this card has changed at all from when we first saw it.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
It's
either.
fully unchanged. I think it's a really good card for Symphony. It absolutely accelerates her in a really nice way. I think she probably plays like 2 of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, so you could maybe do 3. I guess depends on like how heavy you are in white black.
Yeah, I think 2 is fine.
Yeah.
I think 2 is
Yeah.
fine. Just like even that little bit of like tick up, you'll see not this week but next week on the feature match that like Symphony Judgment is a thing. And so accelerating her even a little bit is like, oh, okay. It's like pretty good.
No.
Hide to recover the stone is pretty good. Yeah, you could do some pretty cool stuff. It's a pretty neat stone. Next up, we have the Confrontation with Varkuzal. This is another card that we've already seen, but we've now seen the final version of it. It's now, if this card is not a copy, meaning that you can only possibly copy this spell when you are playing it from your hand. You cannot possibly copy this spell while it is a rune. I believe is how that is gonna work. Alejandro's in the chat, so he can correct me. But it's also been bumped up to 8 strength counters instead of 5, which is a big difference. And then it copies it, so you get to do that. Players cannot chase to this card if you choose the second or third option. Each other player loses 600 life. You can destroy target J/Resonator or Warden. So if you're popping a target J/Resonator or a Warden, that can be chased. Target player discards 2 cards chosen at random and put a Flame Spirit Resonator card from your hand into the field. If you do, at the end of turn, this card's controller banishes it. Do keep in mind that Varkuzal is a Flame Spirit. So that's the thing. Ultimately, though, because Varkuzal is red-blue, I think literally the only ruler who can do that right now of the students is exactly Valentio Diabolos. Is the only person, Pactless, any of them can do it. But if you're playing a Pact, Valentio Diabolos is currently the only one who can do Confrontation into Varkuzal, which is hilarious because both of the cards have Nero on them.
Yeah.
That's just really funny to me.
That's interesting.
Dalmir Python. Oh, that's true. Dalmir Python can also do it. Good catch. Dalmir Python can do it as well. Red, blue, black. We have a couple ways to do red, blue, black. Yeah, this card is also very good. I would put this as the ones that we've seen today. I would put this in the top 3, right, of the ones that we've seen today.
Yeah, no, it's solid. How many Flame Spirits do we have again?
In Paradox, I don't think very
Yeah.
many. In Wanderer, there's quite a few.
Wait, we actually have a decent amount. Wait.
In Paradox?
Yeah, it's like 15 is what I'm seeing right now.
Jeez Louise. Jeremy Lindley, I'm ready to have my whole hand discarded at unchaseable speed. It's a strong generic win con for all red dark decks. I will say, though, that, like, the more this becomes prominent, that, like, sideboard slots will be made up of, like, discard punish cards. Ayush and I were talking about this before the break. Like, imagine you make your opponent discard 2, and the 2 cards you hit are the Bianchi draw 4 and a Wattress. You're just like, ah, shit. I just gave them 5 cards and a body. Like, damn it.
I'm just curious as to, like, how many people will actually be playing those cards. It's kind of like my
It
might not be a
sideboard.
Main board card,
Oh no, for sure,
card.
it's sideboard stuff. Yeah, for sure. I think of like,
Yeah.
I think Ice Shards is starting to see more main board play now, and I think for Worlds format that we will start to see more discard punishing stuff in sideboard for sure, 100%. The Knight as well. Yes, the new Knight is also very good. Like, I think you will start to see those become more prevalent. I think Wattress is pretty good. You get a body that can tap to remove anything, and you get to draw a card. That seems like a pretty good card in general. We can debate. That's fine. I think Confrontation's very good. Then we have Grandma Carlina's Essential Ingredients. This card is, I believe, unchanged as well. I think so. Unchanged?
I think so. It doesn't... I don't think anything's changed.
Everything I think everything I think about this card is unchanged.
Yeah.
The red black one's the only one that changed. And then the last one of the Paradox cards is Protection of the Academy Grounds. The artwork for this card is pretty sick, just in general. I like it.
No.
Let's see. Quick cast Untouchable Barrier. As this card enters the field, name 2 cards to be referenced by the other abilities of this card until the end of game. So it's not an enter effect. It's just going to, as it enters. If you didn't pay 2 to play this card, you cannot name Wardens. Non-J-Ruler cards that share a name with the named card lose all non-will activate abilities and named abilities in all areas. If you paid 2 void to play this card, they also gain. Those cards gain. You pay 2 more to play this card in all areas. Sub-rulers that share a name with the named card lose all abilities. And God's Art, Disruptive Runic Magic, pay 0, reveal it. If your solo mode is engaged, put this card from your hand into the field. Welcome to Generic Side Grade Fates Reunited.
I do feel this card is like stickier than Fates, though. It just has like a lot more protection.
But I would argue it does less. So somehow Fates was made less interactable. So this one does. So I would argue that it does. Like, again, it's side grade, so it doesn't remove. It doesn't remove barrier. I had a list. Hold on, I have a list of things. Feel free to disagree with me, people. That's fine. It doesn't answer outside the game cards. Like, it can't tap to unreveal stuff. It can't. It can hit Wardens if you full pay for it. Face Reunited couldn't hit Wardens just in general. So it's got a better effect if you have it a kicker for it. It has the same God's Art. It doesn't remove barrier. And there were some other things that I had on my list too. I have to go find it. I would say this is like side grade to me personally. But it feels strong. It feels like a strong card. The tax allows you to play 4 of these main boarded. Okay. Playing full cost and calling some quick. Yeah, sure. People can disagree with me on this one. I think it's a side grade Fates, but it's certainly something that you're going to have to deal with. Thoughts, Ayush? You're the one. You're the one who's testing. You're the one who's testing for Worlds. I'm not testing for Worlds, so like, go for it.
I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's overtuned. If I'm being honest, I think it's it does too much. Like it has a lot of protection. I wish there was like more interaction. It's something that we could do to like fight it off better. But that's all I got to say for now.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I will say that like the card doesn't need to be unbeatable to be format warping. Yeah, that's fair. You know, I think you had a list of like one card answers for it. Technically, everyone can turn it off for a turn plus generic removal because of it is a regalia. So setting sun, engraved rune of the setting sun can just blank it for a turn and then kill it. So that's a thing. Because it would lose all of those abilities is one idea. It doesn't have the quick cast symbol up on the top, but it does have quick cast, so that's pretty good for sure. Start playing stations. just play the Solaris stations and say like I don't give a shit about this card. I can't be made to pay. I can't be made to pay extra will. Let's go, Solaris Stations MVP.
I'm betting someone actually shows up to Worlds with that. Oh
Do you know who doesn't get hosed by this? Fox. Damn straight. Damn straight doesn't get hosed by this. Let's go. What are you gonna do? So good, so good. You call my Pearl? Okay, cool. I've won games without Pearl before. I'll do it again. Drink. Where's Holscheiser? Somebody get a safety check for Holscheiser. He might have drunk too much. Let's see what else here. So that's it for the Paradox cards. Testing for this is legal. Obviously, the people who are playtesting for Worlds need to recognize that these cards are a part of it. I do think it shifts the testing meta quite a bit. Which I think is it's something to be aware of. And then we do also need to recognize that there is a question of how many copies each player is going to get for Worlds. That's a legitimate thought process. I hope that it's for everyone showing up at Worlds. You know, or that they have so much extra of this that it will not be a problem for everyone to get the cards that they need to be able to play it at Worlds, right?
No.
Yeah. Water station into time spinning witch and falchion so that you can that's really you're going to be first in line and buy the packs out and give them away day 2. Well, if they're smart, they'll set limits to how much each people can buy. Again, unless they give everyone a full play set of these cards, which they should. Everyone competing at Worlds should get a full play set of these so that there isn't any, or they should be made not legal for Worlds, right? If there is a chance that some players get these cards and some players don't for the main event at Worlds, then these should not be Worlds legal. That's my personal opinion. I'm not the company, but I hope that every single player gets a full play set of these cards as part of their participation stuff. I just think that's the easiest way to do it. And the smartest way to do it. So let's go into the other 15 cards, which are Wanderer format cards. Zeus's Divine Tempest, 5 cost, new 12 Olympian gods. Right. Yes, RR Zorb, they did say that they are legal for the record. I am aware of that. Which then makes me think that everyone's going to get a full playset of them for participation in Worlds. Because it would, I think it would hurt the Worlds environment for these cards to be randomly distributed and some people get them and some people don't because of how influential on testing they are going to be. That's my perspective. Zeus's Divine Tempest, new 12 Olympian gods, Mythic Eternal Pantheon, which I'm going to bring up the article here because they talk about this. Pantheon refers to, at the end of your turn, this card deals X hundred damage to target player, where X is the number of deity cards plus the number of new 12 Olympian god cards you control in public zones. So what if we just started burning stuff at the end of your turn? for having Pantheon. It says that here on the card too, but I have it here. Reunited with Helen, Hermes, or a singleton ruler. This card has Order of the Olympians in addition to its other names, which is... I'm not really sure what the purpose of having Order of the Olympians is. Is it because it doesn't have force resonance?
Yeah,
So like that wouldn't help it there. So I'm not really sure what that's exactly helping to do. It has tap and pay 1, discard a card. This card gains. Enter, search your deck for a new 12 Olympian and reveal it. Trigger one of this card's enter abilities. So just pay 1 and tap and search for an Olympian, which I think is interesting. Mastery, new 12 Olympian. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to look up something real quick. Hera. I'll just look up Hera. Oh. Enter, or when this card is revealed from your deck by the effect of an enter ability gained from a card named Order of the Olympians you control. So this essentially lets you do the reveal abilities off of the Olympians. That makes sense. Now I understand it. It's Diet Zeus enters. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, IU Olympians. It's back, baby. Ayush. We're back. And then it has Mastery, new 12 Olympian gods. So you can essentially, any new 12 Olympian, you can tap it and then get this into play pretty quick. This is pretty cool for Olympians. Yeah. I think this is pretty cool for Olympians.
Yeah. It's interesting. I am curious to see what Hermes looks like.
Yeah. That's the ruler that will possibly be coming in the future. And we're like, I don't know. Whatever that means.
Is that 2 question mark?
ABC decks.
Oh,
because Garmheld is mentioned, and Garmheld is an ABC ruler in one of the future cards. So like maybe Hermes is an ABC ruler that's coming down the pike.
Get more ABC decks. That'd be interesting.
If all of these like newly referenced rulers are ABC rulers, that would be like ABC, not Arcana rulers, but rulers printed in the ABC decks. That would be kind of cool. Tinfoil hat time.
Hermes is the first 5-color ABC ruler.
Gross. Stop. No. Wait.
You said tinfoil hat time.
Helen Olympians would be kind of neat. With with like not witch Helen, with like researcher Helen.
Right.
I think researcher Helen plus Olympians would be kind of cool. No, wait, hold up. Hold on, wait. We got to get through these. Next up is the Fox card. Time to drink some more. This is Reika, Exorcist of Dawns and Dusk, reunited with Athenia. She does literally nothing. By the way, I love the fact that this card does literally nothing unless you are one of these 3 rulers. It's hilarious to me because all of its text is tied to the reuniteds. Necrobloom. Whenever you banish a magic stone, if you haven't played any spell with Necrobloom this turn, you can play this card from your graveyard without paying its cost. Enter for effect, search your deck, graveyard, and or hand for a Spirit Resonator with Growth or Shade in its name and put it into the field. If you search your deck, shuffle it. And on the Resonators or spells side, it is Darkness Resonator cards in your graveyard gain Necrobloom until the beginning of your next turn. You gain 1,000 life. Friendship with Brad ended. Reika is my best friend now. Like,
question.
Answer.
So you can sack her and then trigger the Necrobloom to play from grave, right?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Friendship ended with Brad. So essentially, if I sack a Darkness Resonator, her, and a Killing Stone, she immediately triggers and gets to come back immediately if I haven't done Necrobloom that turn.
Right.
And by the way, I can bin her with Rhea because it's a darkness card in deck.
Oh yeah.
And then you know who can sack stones at instant speed? Chubby 5-tailed fox.
Oh.
Friendship with Brad ended. Reika is my new best friend now.
The chance side. you can like sack off Manticore
And then immediately reanimate it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the Nickel Bloom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
For sure.
Okay.
So there's some really gross things that you can do here. There's some really, really gross things that you could do. We can lean into a heavy discard variant with the Abdul 3-drop that on Darkness Magic Stone Resonance, target player discards a card.
Wow.
Give that thing Neutrogenic Bloom and then sack off a Killing Stone to Chubby Five-Tailed Fox and then go make some Chimeras and make a Griffin and get all these stones and just be like, oh, you don't have a hand. Huh.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. This man even does the Synchro Summon hand much. Synchro Shokan. Ironically, Synchro Summoning was when I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Now I play Fox. And then, interestingly enough, the other thing to note is, again, so for a very, very long time, kind of the earliest we could try to get to if we're going first, the earliest that we could realistically get to a God's Art without Yigdor, off of the Subruler was turn 3.5. This does make it possible to do it on turn 2. Because the spell says until the beginning of your next turn. So you can like make a Griffin and get 2 stones, and then on the next turn sack that Griffin to make a Vow Raven, but that brings back Griffin immediately, who then gets you 2 stones, but then you sacked 2 stones to make 2 Griffins, and so then you have 6 stones.
Oh.
Yay! Fox cards! I love this card so much. I will say, Alejandro's going to give me some shade in the chat, because I first looked at it and I went, Alejandro, this is kind of underwhelming. And then I took 2 seconds to actually read it and I went, I'm high. This is insane. Yeah, the things you can do with Nicte. Yeah, you can do so many things with this card. And you only just have to play 1 shade. Just play 1, because it keeps coming back from hand, graveyard, or deck. So you don't need to play multiple copies of Shade, Envoy of Darkness, which interestingly enough gives the deck more ways to out Alabaster as well, because of his tap ability to be able to shoot something.
How much does it shoot it for?
6. And then you gain 6, and then you gain 6 life.
Oh. That works.
Yeah, Alejandro's still dying from that. Yeah, we stopped talking, Alejandro, and then like 10 minutes later, I was like, I'm so stupid. This is insane. If they thought I was going to be done playing Fox, wrong. Yeah. Shade is solid aside from the costs. Yeah, so you just play 1, because Reika's going to get it for you. Piece of cake. This card's so good. This card's so good. If this card was Paradox legal, I would honestly say that I think Fox is the only playable deck for Worlds. I'd be like, everyone else can go home. Everyone else can go home. But as it stands, I think Fox is just a good choice for Worlds, not the only choice. Plays right through Mirage Spirit. Does it play right through Mirage Spirit?
It would need to be recovered, right?
Yeah, you'd have to wait a turn, essentially. Oh, spirits. Both of these cards are these cards are spirits.
Oh yeah.
So
Pretty good. Oh man.
It keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. I don't even have to worry about Spirit of the Mirage Rune anymore. I'm never gonna get off this deck. I'm never gonna get. Oh, we live in a society. I do think that, listen here. Here's the tinfoil hat, right? Alejandro was like, Jeremy doesn't play competitively anymore, so we can't get him made into a promo. We gotta give him something. And they gave me this card. And you know what? I'll accept it. It's fine.
This is the Jeremy card.
This is the Jeremy card.
Yeah.
Then we get made into a promo, and it's just me. So it's me, like just hanging out in the background with Reika, being like, "Yeah, great." It's so funny. Oh, goodness gracious. There's more cards. Let's talk about those.
Yeah.
Soul consuming spiral, reunited with Garmheld, Loki, or Mimir. Remnant graverbate, or graveberate. I can read.
Yeah.
When you play this card, copy it X times, where X is the number of cards that were put from all non-removed areas into the graveyard this turn. Each other player loses 200 life, and you gain 200 life. Until end of turn, you cannot play spells that share a name with this card for your hand or graveyard. Inheritance for 1 black. Put the top 5 cards of your deck into the graveyard. Let me look at this. Graveberate. Do we have any? Do we just know how Graveberate works, right? Because it just showed us here. So we might see that keyword come up on new cards in the future if we ever go back there. Yeah. Okay. So Graveberate could come back on other cards or whatever. Gravestorm. This card's pretty neat. I kind of do wish it had quick cast, but I understand why it doesn't.
Yeah. It's like a reverse Soul Curse, right? Instead of like you worrying about your opponent's like RFG, you're kind of worried about your own like grave, I guess.
It's
like
all graveyards. It is all graveyards. So
if you is all.
Yeah. So this card.
Oh, right. Okay.
So like this card with like, but think about this card with like Harvesting Season. Milton.
That's what I was thinking. Like, and you pitch this card, like you see like before recovery you pitch Soul Consuming, and then recover you play Harvesting
Season,
and then you play a copy of this. That's like 3K life.
Yeah, it'd be 3. Yep. Or if you're Perfect Loki, the nice thing is if you play like with Perfect Loki, you can pitch this before recovery, send it to the graveyard, mill 5, Judgment, Perfect Loki, mill another 10, and then play Harvesting Season, mill another 10, and then cast this from graveyard as Perfect Loki. And then you just kill Remnant, your opponent because it has Remnant.
That's what it has Remnant. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Same copy. Yeah.
Yeah, this card's pretty good. And yeah, even not Perfect Loki, you just pitch it to graveyard and then cast it, which I think is really cool. This card's very cool. Next up, we have Nocturne, the Theater of Hollow Lights, 3-cost Untouchable Aegis. Resonators you control gain Moontide for 1. They can pay 1. This card is not a token. You copy it, except that copy has Mythic. So you can essentially pay 1 void to duplicate your resonators. Only 1 moon ability per turn. Chant cards you control in the chase area get Moontide. Seems pretty good. Tap target card in your graveyard gains Remnant. Tap and pay X to search your deck for a water or wind card with time in its name and total cost X plus 1, and play it without paying its cost. Then shuffle your deck and reveal this card from your hand. Expel a card from your hand. If you control a J ruler with time in its judgment cost, you put this card from your hand into the field. Utsunes and Time Spinning Witch.
Yeah.
Both really loving it. I would also like to say that Time Spinning Witch can produce 1 time for activate abilities. Like Moontide. So that's your thing. You could expel Drywing to play this. You absolutely could. This card's very cool. This card has a lot of implications for a lot of decks that have been like fringe experimentable for a bit, and then they get this, and it's like, oh, okay, could just bring some cool stuff back. The reason dinner time will never be free. Tap it and pay 0. Go cast dinner time. It's got time in its name. Produce 3 will. That's very funny. This card's very cool. I like this card a lot. Next card that we'll talk about is Orpheus, the Grieving Musician, aka the Fallen Angel support card. 2-cost. Enter. If this card wasn't played from a graveyard until end of game, you can replay all your God's Art abilities as an additional time. We like that. That's essentially 4 extra God's Arts per ruler if you keep casting them. So that's neat. God's Art, Don't Look Back. Pay a black and rest a fallen angel J/ruler you control. Reveal this card from outside the game and put this card into the field, then banish it, essentially re-triggering the enter effect. Anathema. As long as you control cards in your graveyard with 4 different card types, so wanting you to play card diversity, you can play this card from your graveyard as though it had quick cast. Keep in mind that doesn't give it Remnant, it just lets it be played from the graveyard. Dual attribute Darkness Chant cards in your graveyard with total cost 3 or less gain Remnant and Mastery Orpheus. This card is pretty good. And considering the fact that Fallen Angels just got buffed by the CR because of Return of Judgment, that's something to consider. I did lose locals last week to a Dante Beatrice. I lost to Dante Beatrice because of the Return of Judgment.
Gotcha.
Like, oh, okay, great.
This card gets around Ferrospell and the Hanada XR.
Yes. Because it's as though it had quick cast. It doesn't actually have quick cast. So
Play like throne cards, I guess, from Grave.
the thrones.
Those are like the first card that came to mind.
Yeah, the problem is you won't be solo mode most of the time. If you're playing,
right, yeah.
so you only get to pick 2 options. But if you're playing solo, like playing throne cards from your graveyard potentially for free seems pretty good.
No.
Don't bring back Inferno, please. Watch Inferno get brought back immediately, and we're all just like, no, wait, stop. We got a lot of cards to still get through here. We have a name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Who Dared Odin? 4 cost.
Vothrunthir?
Vothrunthir. Vothrunthir.
Yeah.
Vothrunthir. Yeah. Whatever. We were
going Victor.
Yeah.
We're going Victor.
Yeah. This is V-Dog. This is V-Dog. This is V-Dog. He dared Odin. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by non-light sources. Pay double white or tap. Discard a light card. Draw 2 cards. He gets plus X +1/+1 counters, where X is the highest total cost among entities you control, which is then like boosted by all of what Odin was doing. Crazy. Force Resonance Faith. A Force Resonance card in 2025. What? Mythic Drain and Call of Valhalla for 3. If this card would be destroyed, expel it instead. If you do, search your deck for a Valkyrie card of total cost 3 or less and play it without paying its cost, then shuffle your deck. When this card is put into the graveyard from your deck or by an automatic ability of a J-Ruler, so, like the order, put it into the field with 7 -1/-1 counters on it.
Yeah.
This card's so good for Odin.
It's really good.
This
It's
card's so good for
yeah.
Odin. Someone tell Matthew Lindley that he has already been staring at this card for 5 hours, but he needs to look at this card again. Yeah, this is very cool. This is a very cool card.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any built-in protection, right? And like he, other than the preventing damage, right? But any like hardcore destruction, any of that kind of stuff, it's still an automatic trigger. You can respond to like cheat him out of the graveyard or whatever. He's already staring at it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Battle burn doesn't matter. Yeah. By the way, this does prevent damage for either player. It's prevent all damage that would be dealt by non-lights. So even your stuff that's not light can't hit anything, which I think is very interesting.
I think it's fine. You're a heavy light deck anyways.
So. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's good, but it's just like, it's interesting, right?
For sure.
Thunder of Zeus is a light card. Sorry.
It is indeed a light card.
It's not a non-light. Next up we have Zhenwu, Dragonborn Lord. 4 cost 8/9 Resonator Regalia. Not a card type combination I ever thought we would see. Mythic, Untouchable, Defiant 1, and Aegis. Reunited with Fushi, Zhuge Liang, or Fire Daimyo J-Ruler. Dragon cards you own have Draconic Tithe. As you play this card, you can discard up to X regalia, where X is the number of magic stones and will coin tokens you control. So essentially, the more stones you have, the more you can discard to discount your stuff further. You pay 1 red and 1 void, or 1 blue and 1 void less to play this card for each card you discarded. Resonator you control cannot be returned to their owner's hand, and on enter, search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Because you don't have to reveal what those cards are, he's an exception to the rule. He can search for himself. Because it's hidden zone to hidden zone. Alejandro confirmed that earlier today. Oh, that's true. Regalia Beast is a Regalia / Resonator. It's just been, I just forget that that card is also a Regalia. Didn't have Fushi getting support on my 10 bingo card. But it's pretty cool. The artwork on this is also sick. Like, really, really cool. Next up, we have Stephen Jeswain's favorite card, the one that he's been staring at all day. Osiris, God of the Divine Death. Reunited J Ruler with an armament deck. Huh. I wonder who that helps. Ibka, which is 1 red and 1 white. You can play this card from your graveyard by paying its Ibka cost. It also has Incarnate for white, black, or non-deity Fire Resonator, and Blood Trail. This is also a card that if you're not an Armament Ruler deck, all it has is that Pay X ability. But just keep that in mind. Enter, reveal a card from your Armament EX deck at random and put it into your Ruler area, upgrade it, and draw a card. Gosh dang it, that's so good. Tap and pay red or black. Rest X Armament Subrulers you control. Put target non-deity, non-high god Resonator with total cost X from your graveyard into the field. And for pay X, search your deck for a mono attribute light or fire or darkness contract with total cost X and play it without paying its cost. Then shuffle your deck. Instant speed contracting for Electra.
I'm curious. I'm sorry. I'm just curious as to what the light contract is going to be for Electra.
It could be,
assuming it's for her.
It could be also that we get a different Armament Ruler in the future.
That's also fair.
That could contract with light, right? Because this specifically doesn't say Reunited Electra. It says Ruler with an armament deck, which makes me think that you could get it. So it was very interesting. The mentions of a light contract have me curious. I should read the first part of the article. No, I'm going to read it right now. Can't tell me what to do. Various dimensions, sneak peek. Talking about specifically the first part about him. Here we go. Sandora is the dimension created by Thoth in the desert-like place with extremely high temperatures and icy nights. In this dimension, the deities fight for sovereignty over the city-states and recently for the control of the Golden Ankh, a magic object of great power that could tip the balance in any direction. Okay, probably the Ankh makes me think that there's an armament, a guy in there that does something. You kind of have to pivot to always be ready to answer Osiris. Yeah, for sure. It represents, especially since it can banish Ryzen or Intel to play this card. Either one. Where Electra can be a little bit more passive by just flacting in Rogue Spectator. Yeah, also, yep, for sure. Rogue Spectator can be used to play this card. Next up we have the Midnight Griffin Pirate Ship. 3 costs, pirate, ship. Mythic, raid. You can play its raid cost. If you do, it gains swiftness, and at the end of turn, return it to its owner's hand as it enters the field. Mobilize, pirate, mobilize, pirate, or rogue, and Aegis. Players cannot chase to this card. Enter, put 2/2/2 Rogue Resonator tokens into the field. So if you raid it, it makes something to be able to give it swiftness, crew it immediately, and swing in. Whenever a pirate entity does battle damage to a player, remove the top card of your deck from the game. It gains, you may play this card from your removed area as long as it is in your removed area. It's pretty neat. A little bit of dig for red. It's cool.
Interesting. Do we have a good amount of pirates right now?
Nope. But it makes pirates itself. So that's interesting. Like, because it on enter makes 2 dudes. Or makes good. Sorry, it makes rogues, not pirates, which means maybe we'll get more pirates later. I don't know.
Yeah.
The One Piece is real.
Yes. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this card. If I'm being honest. Like, listen,
the One Piece is real.
I would not be upset.
Can you imagine Forcible getting a One Piece collab?
That would be pretty sick.
Next up, we have Crystal Pinnacle, the refuge of the something that I can't read. Primal Roar 2, Dinosaur J Resonators you control, gain plus 200. So just an anthem on a stone. You know, no big deal. This card has the Fire Magic Stone type and the Wind Magic Stone type. Tap if you control a Dinosaur J Ruler or the Sidhei J/Ruler. Produce red or green. If you control 2 Dinosaur entities or Sidhei entities, produce red or green. And you can tap to put a 2/3 Wind Dinosaur Resonator token into the field, which, by the way, would be a 4/3 Dinosaur Resonator token into the field. Killua! Sure!
Yeah.
When's the Wolfstone unban? I mean, this is... I don't know. Yeah, so 4 of this is just a passive plus 800 attack to your dinos. This is basically Wolfstone, but better? Is it? I don't know. I'm not going to get into the intakes of that. We got more cards to talk about. I'm not sure if this... It might be Wolfstone, but better. I'm not in the analysis phase of it yet. Speaking of another stone, this is the Eternal Wall of Avalon Junkyard VLT-0. Enter if you control a J-Ruler with Eins, Zwei, or Jerry... Zen,
right?
Zen.
Yeah.
In its name, then put a card named Angel Statue of the Tower from your hand into the field. By the way, Angel Statue of the Tower just has tap, produce 1 will of any color. Tap, produce Void. If you control an entity named Angel Statue of the Tower, produce 2 Void instead. If you do, spell this will only to play Gears spells, non-attribute spells, or activate abilities of non-attribute cards. And pay 2 Void. Recover target non-Magic Stone entity with Krenlos. This card has no attribute, and you may pay the attribute card cost of this spell with Void Will. So it seems like we've had this idea before of this card has no attribute. That's brought up in the Wu Jia Wu card. It's brought up in the Machina card or whatever. But now we're getting like an official keyword for it. So that's really interesting. It does make me wonder. Look what they did to your boy Fake Wall. The angel statue also draws. Alejandro, I do want to clarify something. Is with this now being a keyword, is this going to be retroactive to the resonators that have this card has no attribute? We've seen some so if a reprint of Wu Jia Wu was to come up in Power Suit would come out, would he be errata to have Krenlos or Kernlos on him? Or are we just expecting that this card just says he has no attribute? Yes, that will appear in the CR today or later this week. So it is going to be retroactive. That's kind of nice for Wu Jia Wu to just be able to be played with Void Will. So that's kind of nice for sure.
Put in your Void ABC deck.
Yeah, actually playable in your Void ABC deck. Which is nice. Next up, we have probably one of my second favorite card, I think, of the Wanderer cards. This is Scrivener of the Ten Oaths. Aid any ruler in Trinity Cluster. Tap, play a chant card with Oath from your hand, graveyard, or removed area. If you do, it gains you pay one of its colors less to play this card, as long as it's in the chase area. If you played a card from your removed area this way, it gains if it would move from the chase area to anywhere, expel it instead. So which essentially means this can be used to double accelerate the first one that you're playing, or the one that's in your RFG already waiting to be replayed. It just won't, it'll count for 2 and then go away. Or just instant speed one cost oaths. Immediately makes all of the oaths much more playable.
Yeah.
This is very, all of the oaths, literally every single one becomes so much more playable because now they're all instant speed and cost 1 will to start.
Yeah, I think my main issue was the fact that a lot of them were main timing for 2 will, but this helps it a lot more for sure.
For sure. Instant speed, and the first one costs 1.
Yeah.
Okay. All of the oaths suddenly became way better. So this is very cool. And it's just any Trinity Cluster ruler. Crazy. Alex Sansta, let's go. Bianchi, let's go. Play it with Ashwin. Play it with Zaki. Play it with, literally so many of them are going to want to use this card, and it's going to make playing Oaths a lot more fun, which I think is very cool. A few more cards left to go. We have Lady Anne, Leloteal, Runic Knight, Mythic Quickcast Aegis, Reunited Elf J Ruler with Leloteal in its name, which at this point in time I believe is just fairer. How did it spelled? T
Leto Liel.
Legoli. Right now it's just fairer. Letaleal. I've always pronounced him Leloteal. I'm just now realizing it's Letaleal. Awesome. Literally been playing this game for 11 years. Gil plus Ashwin, draw 2, make 2 bodies, and RFG for 1. Yeah. If you wanted to play combo, tag. But you would lose. If you did that, you'd lose his regalia. Right? Because you can't have a sub-ruler for a fate card already. You have to not control a sub-ruler.
Yeah.
So you'd trade off playing Oaths for his regalia from outside the game. None of us can for sure. Anyway, other Elf J Resonators you control gain Aegis, and this card can use its activate abilities with tap in its name as though it has swiftness. Elf Resonators you control gain tap, produce moon or green, and then whenever another non-token Elf Resonator enters the field, you get an Elf Resonator token, then put 2 +1/+1 counters on each Elf J Resonator you control. This ability only triggers thrice per turn. It's going to build up a board so freaking fast.
Yeah.
Because those tokens can then produce will to play more elves to make more tokens. Where's the Great Tornado card? Where's the Great Tornado card? I would also say there's a Great Tornado. As you play this card, you can rest up to 6 Resonators and pay 1 void less to play this card for each, and it's just destroy 2 things. Also the new Master Rune for Belphegor. Just sure, okay. Oh goodness gracious, that's very silly. I love the moon and the cost. Yeah, it's neat. This card's very cool. I like it. And then we have 2 more. We're going to go with Chaotic Arch to Bethmora, Limit to Eternal, Reunited with Alex, or a Cthulhu J-Ruler. You can play cards with Limit from your graveyard or removed area at the end of your turn. If there are no limit counters on this card, banish it if you do search your deck or hand for a card with Jirelth in its name and put it into the field. And has Mastery Cthulhu. Tap, remove a limit counter from this card. Look at the top card of your deck. You can put it into your graveyard. Draw a card. What is Jirelth?
Oh, it's Amulet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jade. Show enough. Seems pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty solid.
It seems pretty good. By the way, it is at the end of turn, not the end of your turn. So you could get Amulet at the end of your opponent's turn and then go to your turn with the free stone that just came into play rested.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's pretty good. And oh, by the way, she can also play the sub ruler because she's a Trinity Cluster ruler.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Throm is back on the menu, baby. And then lastly, we have this card, an unfavorable exchange of wealth. 1 blue, addition, cocooned, new world. Quick cast, untouchable, eternal, Aegis. Each other player can only produce will by paying activate abilities of magic stones or will coins. Non-armament, non-weapon sub-rulers lose all abilities. At the beginning of the game, if your opponent controls a songstress ruler or 2 rulers, put this card from outside the game into the field. Players cannot chase to this ability. So it has a cheat-in ability against tag. Tap, draw a card, then expel a card from your hand unless you pay 1, and pay 1 blue to return this card to its owner's hand. This card is pretty good. Pretty dang good.
Was this meant for like Rushiel? Kind of like.
I don't think it was. Is Ruchiel a songstress?
As in, yeah, she is.
This doesn't feel like it would be
like,
meant for Ruchiel because I don't know. It wouldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't produce will. In any way, shape, or form. This certainly makes luminaries a lot less good.
Yeah.
Like a lot less good. It wasn't meant for Ruchiel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it. It was for Noise, the next ruler. She's gonna be a songstress.
My man. She is. So there is something to be said about Noise maybe being I mean, she's a student at the academy. So she could be one of the rulers, right? She could be. Future J-pop crossover. Yeah. There's more songstress in Cocoon, according to the flavor text. Yeah. That makes sense. This card is like, this card is very harsh against very specific things. Right? Like, it is, what it is good against, it is very, very good against. 100%. Not going to deny that. This card is very good. It infinitely protects itself. It's very hard to remove. Like, this card is very good. But it is pretty damn narrow. In terms of what it's actually trying to... Let me clarify that. In terms of what it actually punishes, as opposed to being a cycle engine, it is very narrow in what it punishes. It is a very generic dig engine against a lot of things. Totally fair. Unless you have that will to go positive, it's like just filtering, right? But it is very, very pointed and very, very good against very specific types of rulers, like luminaries, for instance. Hurts Alice tag quite a bit. It also is be very good against Astema, right? Well, I would argue that Astema's just going to draw cards. She can still just draw cards. She doesn't have to produce will off of her own body. Luminaries, I would argue, is very hit by this, for sure. 100%. Tag Luminaries, for sure. Yeah, so, like, again, and it's 6... The only 6 sage it hurts is Feathsing. Because she's the only one that produces will. That's not entirely true. It hurts my list Moodstart, too.
Oh, my list? Yeah.
It hurts my list. It hurts my list, and it hurts specifically my list Moodstart, because it hurts my list Scott's Art, and it hits Featsing from being able to tap stuff. It kind of hits Astema, because Astema can just draw cards instead of producing will. It really hits Luminaries. Like, really hits Luminaries. Paul puts up a brink point. Tuck it away and unleash it when needed. Did the metagame suddenly get heavy in 6-Agers and full arts? Dope. Here's an answer. Yeah, for sure. Everything else, it's just a dig. It's just a dig if you're playing tag.
Angels.
Again, the only
full arts.
You said it's heavy in 6-Agers / fall. Oh, did I say Fallen Angels? Did I say full arts?
Full arts, yeah.
It's late. I'm tired. Are there a lot of full arts? Are there a lot of full arts being played? Play this card. Confirmed. Play base rarity. Let's go. Stay safe. Stay safe out there. Go to bed. This card's cool though. I think on the whole, I really like ATD. I'm excited about it. I mean, I think the 10, the biggest. We know that they're all legal for Paradox. Like if I wasn't commentating, if anyone at Worlds doesn't want to play day 2 and wants to commentate instead, so I can go play Fox just run it back. It's my run. That's what I've been doing, right? I've been commentating day 1, playing day 2 side events, getting to finals and snap conceding. And then I'll get to finals this time and I won't concede. And I'll just play Fox in the Wanderer day 2 event and be like, let's go.
Hey, Alejandro welcomed you. He's like,
hey, someone has to commentate top 8.
We get Rio to do it.
Rio has to work the booth. Alejandro has to, I think, work. I do actually think Alejandro has to work.
Okay.
I'll get you to do it.
No, I'm playing day 2.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll bring a Wanderer Fox deck just so I can be mad that I can't play in the day 2 side event. I'll just be like sitting with this perfectly tested, like meta ready Fox Wanderer deck and just be like, would be a great thing if I could just play this, but I can't. It's okay. It's okay. God. Just attach you to the plane. Stop! I'm killing Steven by mentioning Fox. He has been rather quiet for a bit. No, but on the whole, I think ATD is very, very cool. I'm really excited. I'm really glad about the way that they're going to distribute ATD. In terms of like for people who aren't going to Worlds, I am cautiously optimistic that every player going to Worlds will get a full playset of ATD, or at the very least a full playset of the Paradox cards. Right? Like, I think it's easy enough to get them to have full playsets of 25 cards. It's 100 cards a player for production, right? I think that would be fine. But I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that goes around. So we're going to have to revisit a bunch of stuff, Paul, for the channel. I will say this. Interestingly enough, though, Paul, Alejandro's in the chat. So this actually might change some of the stuff, even though technically ATD cards aren't here yet. Because we do want to go revisit Wanderer after we finish hitting all of the new rulers for Paradox. Let me go read this article real quick to verify something. Real quick. So the 10 Paradox cards are technically part of Descent into the Raven's Catacombs. There's 15 cards designed specifically for Wanderer and have the ATD set codes. They're only legal in Wanderer and ABC. Both the main event and the side event will be their debut, and all 25 cards have been legal since the release of DRC, which was August 28th. Alejandro, with that being said, that these cards have been legal in Wanderer since the 28th of August, even though they haven't been released yet, can Paul and I have our Wanderer feature matches leading up to Worlds include ATD cards? Because technically they're legal. We'll just proxy them. Huh?
Can't see why not.
Huh? Time Pirates. Got it. Using proxies? Sure, why not?
There you go.
Let's go! Super excited. That would be I think that would be very cool for our Wanderer feature matches leading up to Worlds to be like looking at ATD Wanderer cards. Since technically the only weirdness would be like if any of these cards are somehow involved in the ban list. But like we're not gonna get a ban list involving ATD between now and Worlds, so like who cares? But since the article says that these are technically Wanderer legal as of August 28th, we'll just proxy them and then we can play them. Fox. How many more times can I say it before? Fox. Okay, great. ATD I think as a whole is very exciting. I'm excited about it. The brain juices are flowing for both Worlds testing. Y'all got a lot of work ahead of you, Ayush. Good luck.
Yeah.
Start digging. Hey, listen, you got 2 months. You got a little under 2 months at this point in time. That's enough time for y'all to really dig in and figure some stuff out. Players for WGP will have to proxy for testing. I mean, obviously, right? They'll have to proxy for testing. And then, Wanderer stuff. It's going to be trying to revive Steven. We get it. It's okay. We can bring it back. But yeah, super exciting stuff. Thank you for making me work on a day I wasn't initially intending to work. And Ayush, thanks for jumping in and sharing your thoughts with me on these. Sure. Pretty exciting stuff.
For sure.
Good luck on your testing, Team USA, and those players around the world. Until next time, this has been myself, DMO73. I've been joined, as always, by Ayush Dalal, Mr. Shumpo himself. Excited that he gets to play IU Olympians for Day 2 of Worlds. Class dismissed, everybody. Bye.